Well, hello everyone, and here we are for game week 3 of the English Football League Championship. And game week 2 didn't disappoint. Plenty of goals and thrills and spills to just look back on as we go through the fixtures for the coming weekend. We did have a couple of lesser spotted 0-0 draws creep into the results on the weekend. West Bromwich Albion and Leeds playing out a goalless draw, as did Portsmouth and Luton, and we'll just touch on those games as we go through their next fixtures. Having said that, the other 10 games produced 38 goals, so back to typical championship stuff, and almost, as I say, with 10 games, 38 goals, almost 4 goals a game in the remaining 10 fixtures. So plenty went on, and my team, I won't be saying this very often this season, maybe, but my team were involved in the game of the day. A 4-3 victory in Ashton Gate against Millwall. And it was an up and down game all the way through. 2-0 up to City, then Millwall came back and led 3-2, and City somehow found their scoring boots at the end to nick it. I didn't see much of the game, only the highlights reel, because I was away at the weekend, but the highlights reel that ITV give us on free-to-air television. So it was, we shall see how it all pans out and what's done to the table. The table has 3 teams on 6 points. Only 3 teams have a 100% record after just 2 games, so that shows how competitive this league is. And those being Burnley, Sunderland, Watford, and it's always a bit of fun this time of year to puff your chest out if you're top of the table, just to give yourselves that bit of moment of in the limelight, so to speak. And Burnley are top at the moment, and I think a lot of people's favourites to go up, back up, but long way to go. But they've certainly started off with no real hangover from the Premier League relegation. Sunderland, a bit of a surprise, but I said Sunderland to have a stable season, but whether they maintain this form, we shall see. Yet to concede a goal, whizzing down the table. Yeah, the only team yet to concede a goal, interestingly. So Sunderland have made their mark early on, and has have Watford. Many people's thoughts that team Watford may struggle, and they still may do, but they've given themselves a 6-point cushion. And it's always nice to do that at the start of the season. And then going to the bottom, we've got 3 teams on who've yet to get off the mark, and it's Millwall, Preston and Cardiff. Cardiff yet to score a goal, as have likewise Preston. And it's always makes me smile, really, because it's if it was mid-November, 2 or 3 games without winning, or 2 or 3 losses, just sort of gets camouflaged in the whole season. But as soon as you start the season with 2 or 3 defeats and you've still got a big fat 0 in that points column, everything is magnified tenfold, because people are looking at, are they got a point yet? Have they got a point yet? And I think it's quite amusing that can be sort of swallowed up in a typical season. If you lose 2 or 3 matches on the bounce, it doesn't matter that much, if you see what I mean. But at the start of the season, it's a much bigger goldfish bowl, and everyone can see you've still yet to get off the mark with a point, with any points. And we've got 3 teams vying to do that in this coming weekend. So that's where we are with the league tables. Bit of fun at this time of year. Always nice to say, yeah, we're top of the league, and puff your chest out, and why not? As I keep saying, the theme of all my little clips I do is let's have some fun and smile about it all, in general terms. So there we go. So what have we got this week then? We start on Friday night, as is the want this year in the Championship. I think there'll always be a Friday night TV match, and it's a Yorkshire derby, and it's Sheffield Wednesday against Leeds United. Now, Sheffield Wednesday have had a very interesting start, if you like. 2 4-0 games, 1 for them and 1 against them, and it was to me a slightly surprising 4-0 loss at Sunderland, although we just spoke about Sunderland having a good start. But losing 4-0 there was a bit of an eye-opener, for me anyway. And Leeds still yet to get off the mark with any wins. But a point at West Brom isn't to be sniffed at. It's not many people walk away from West Brom with 3 points under their arm this season. So we shall see how that goes. So we have Sheffield Wednesday versus Leeds, Friday night. I think Leeds will get off the mark under the W column, and they will win this one by 3-1, even though it's a derby, a local derby match, a Yorkshire derby match. Then we go into the main body of games on Saturday, and it starts 3 12:30 games. The first of those is Bristol City against Coventry, which is a repeat of the EFL Cup match that they played out last Tuesday or last week at Ashton Gate, in which Coventry walked off with the result. So, it's going to be another close game, I feel. Bristol City will want to build on the back of that home win. If you're going to have any chance of success in any league, you've got to get your home form really be strong at home. So they'll be looking to try and make it 2 from 2. And Coventry, who have started with a win and a loss, narrowly got an excellent by themselves 5-goal thriller on the Friday night, beating Oxford with almost the last kick, which was a bit of a gut for Oxford, who have gamely started well in the Championship. But Coventry will just nip them on the night. So I think Bristol City will come out on top on this one, and they will sneak it, edge it by 2-1 as revenge for the cup defeat last week. Then we have Hull City against Millwall. Now, Millwall have been involved in games that have had the most aggregate goals so far, 12 of them. They lost 3-2 and 4-3, as we've just been speaking about. Unfortunately, hasn't got them any points yet, and I suppose it's sort of slightly alarming that they conceded 7 in the first 2 matches, which has cost them dear. But they're scoring goals, creating chances, I suppose, is the positives they'll take from all of this. So I can see, but I think this is going to be a tough one away at Hull. Hull, a couple of draws, will want to get off the mark, and they'll see this as a real chance to do that against the side. To will be a bit under feel that, as I say, that enhanced pressure when you've got still 0 points at this time of the season. So, I'm going to go for a Hull home win. Not too many goals about. I'll go for Hull City 2, Millwall 0. Then we have the third of the 12, the lunchtime kickoffs on Saturday. It's Queen's Park Rangers against Plymouth. And Queen's Park Rangers had an excellent recovery against Sheffield United at the weekend. 2-0 down to 10 men. I think they got back to 2-1 before it was 10 men. But they still equalised with 10 men. So to come back from 2-0 down anyway was a good effort. And I as I say, I'm perhaps giving them a bit of a big up, because they're my surprise choice to be in the top 6 this season. That may be a step too far, but I just like Marty Cifuentes, who has taken over and just breathed a different sort of dynamic into Queen's Park Rangers, and it's fun to follow as an outsider. So I just went for them as being the surprise package, and they showed a bit of fight on the weekend to come back from 2-0 down. Very good indeed, and I think they'll follow that up against Plymouth, who did scrape for a point against Hull at home last weekend. So they'll be pleased with that, but they'll be disappointed to a certain degree because they went in front. Anyway, we have Queen's Park Rangers against Plymouth, and I think QPR will get off the mark with their win column, and they'll take the match by 3-1. That takes us into the 3 o'clocks, Saturday 3 o'clock games, and first up is Blackburn versus Oxford. As I say, Oxford have made a decent start in life in the Championship so far. Held their own at Coventry until the very last minute, and had a very impressive win first up against Norwich. So they will go to Blackburn, although Blackburn have had some decent results as well, a win and a draw. They will they'll not go there and have their tummy tickled, but I think Blackburn's experience, and they did look good in their first game at home against Derby when they put Derby away 4-2. So I think they'll follow that up with another home win against Oxford. I think it'll be quite comfortable, actually. I don't know why I'm thinking that. But I'm going to go Blackburn 3, Oxford 0. Then we go for the next game on Saturday, which is Middlesbrough against Portsmouth. Now, Portsmouth at the moment are the only side yet of the promoted teams yet to record a win. Now, that's might be a harsh thing to say because they've had Leeds away and Luton at home. However, in context, really, they did go in front against Leeds in stoppage time and didn't see out the win. And they'd be disappointed not to have done that, even though it would have been, they were mauled a bit at times. But nevertheless, they held up and had a brilliant, excellent performance and an excellent result. And then last week, the game was marred, or I say marred, spoiled. I think any game is spoiled with a red card, whatever the situation. But unfortunately, this was spoiled with a red card to the Luton's goalkeeper for the ridiculous. The first offence was a ridiculous or time-wasting offence. Now, the Luton manager gave quite an attacking sort of response to that against the referee. I understand where he's coming from, but I did see the clip, but only the highlights clip. So, and it did look to me as if they weren't, neither player, the goalkeeper or the near close by defender, were making any attempt to play the ball. You've got to show some intent with 29 minutes gone that you actually want to play this game. Anyway, apparently it's a tactic they're employing, but they'll have to perhaps rethink it because he didn't get sent off for that, but a few minutes later or some time later, not long after, he felt he had to rush from his goal and completely mistimed his tackle, upended a guy in the middle of the pitch, or way outside his box, and that was the end of his afternoon. And it, as I say, spoilt the game a little bit, I think. But going back to Portsmouth, they will not be able to beat 10-man Luton, especially after Luton had that wobbly result against Burnley. So they really do need to get a win somewhere, just to get that confidence in the club that they've arrived. But I don't think it's going to come this week. I think I said in the season preview that Portsmouth had a very tough match, a tough start to the season, a tough run of matches, and this is the third of those against Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough will want to put their defeat behind them to Derby. They won't want to lose to another promoted side. So I think they'll edge it. There won't be much in it. Portsmouth are going to hold their own in this league. It's just a matter of them getting up and running, really. But I think they're going to struggle at Middlesbrough, and Middlesbrough will take the result of that 2-1. That takes us to Norwich and Sheffield United, both involved in 2-2s last weekend. And again, I think that will be the score on this coming weekend. Norwich and Sheffield United will certainly play. It'll be a good game to watch, I think, this one. Norwich will struggled a bit at the moment, conceded 4 goals in 2, and I've given them to concede more here. I think Norwich at home need to be getting up and running, really. But I think Sheffield United have made a better start than I thought they would. They've got, again, they've got seemingly no hangover, although they did let a 2-0 lead slip last weekend, which they'll be disappointed about. But I think another 2-2 draw is on the cards. So Norwich 2, Sheffield United 2. Then we go, the next match is Preston North End against Luton Town. Now, Preston North End have already changed their manager by mutual consent, whatever happened there. They've yet to score a goal, and they did get brushed aside at the weekend by Swansea by 3-0. So they've really got to arrest the slide before it becomes a mini crisis, really. However, a team that just got relegated from the Premier League probably isn't the best fixture that you would choose to have to try and get points on the board. And Luton, as I say, put in a resolute performance at Portsmouth last week after they went down, or after they lost their goalkeeper and went down to 10 men. So Preston North End then at home. Can they breach? Can they get anything get through? I think not, unfortunately, for them. I think Luton will see this as an opportunity to sort of get back on the trail. They started with a loss. They had a good, solid draw last week in difficult circumstances, and now they will see this as a chance to add to Preston's early season woes. So I'm going to go Preston North End 0, Luton 2 in an away win. Then we have Stoke and West Brom. West Bromwich have, they've won one and lost one, so they're ticking over. Excellent win at QPR on opening day, I should add. And here I think they will back up that away win with a second one at Stoke. Can't quite work out Stoke yet. They've won one and lost one. So we need to see how they're shaping up a little bit more yet. I think West Brom will be too strong for them. They're still going to be a good side this year, West Bromwich Albion, and I think they'll edge this one by 2 goals to 1, although it's sort of a local derby-ish feel to it in the Midlands. All the Potteries from Stoke and West Brom in the West Midlands are quite close. So not far for the West Brom faithful to travel on Saturday. But I think they'll see their side win and take a 2-1 victory. 3 matches to go, and here we have sort of an early top of the table. It's funny how these things get thrown out, even though only 2 games gone. We have Sunderland against Burnley, and Sunderland will really see this, I think, and their fans will as well, as to where they really are this season. Can they really maintain a place near the top of the table? Sunderland have started brilliantly, 2 wins, no goals conceded. It's all very perfect 10 out of 10 early season homework stuff, isn't it? Gold stars and all of that being handed out. So I think Burnley will certainly be a tough test, and I don't think there's going to be anything in this game whatsoever, and I think both sides will not want to lose and want to sort of maintain their good starts. So I'm going to go for a goalless draw. Yes, I know, one of those lesser spotted things that we have now and again in the Championship. I'm going to go for a 0-0 draw between Sunderland and Burnley. 2 games to go, and the first of those, Watford against Derby. Derby, yes, they got their first win, as I say, from being promoted. A very good one as well against fancied Middlesbrough. So they certainly put their best foot forward last week, and to keep a clean sheet was excellent for them. Gives the whole place of confidence when you can win a game and keep a clean sheet in a new league, in a that you've been promoted to. And I think they'll go to Watford and give a good account of themselves. Watford, yes, they had an excellent 3-0 home win against Stoke. However, I think Derby will just have a little bit more about them, perhaps, than Stoke may have done last week, and I think they'll grab a 1-each draw. Watford 1, Derby 1. And finally, but certainly not least, I hadn't really realised this fixture was on coming up so early in the season. Game 3, and we have one of the South Wales Derby matches to ponder, and it's at Swansea. So Swansea versus Cardiff, and Swansea have had a decent start, winning 1, losing 1, I suppose. They've got the points on the board anyway, whereas Cardiff, no goals, bottom of the table, and 7 goals conceded. So not the best set of stats to go the short distance to Swansea on Sunday lunchtime. And I think following Swansea's good win against Preston the previous week or last week, I think they'll follow that up. But it won't be much in it. But I think there'll be a few goals in this. I think Cardiff have got nothing to lose as such. They've just got to go there and give it as a free hit almost, and see what they can do. Can they ruffle the Swansea feathers? Let's see if they can. I think there'll be goals about. I'm going to go Swansea 3, Cardiff 2. So there we have it for game week 3 in the Championship. I'm sure there'll be lots of thrills and spills to review or reflect on next week. No midweek games, if I'm right in saying, next week. It's the EFL Trophy next round. So we won't convene again on this one until the back end of next week when we look at game week 4. Interesting stuff already. Some interesting stories coming out from this championship. That's it from me for this week. Thank you for looking in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. The Football Overseas YouTube channel is an excellent channel, so varied in everything, all sports. Not focusing on always on the elite stuff, which is really good. So there we go. Thank you for listening once again, and I will see you all again very soon. Bye for now.